So for today's class, we shall be dealing with topic number 1, topic number 2, topic number 3. We shall take them. Remember, it's simply a revision. We're going to be reviewing all we have done in such a manner that will not be to go and start doing lectures and taking much time. We're going to flip through all the pages in topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, between this 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 1 hour. So that you be abreast of where we started and where we are going. So that the intention is to ensure that no one is kept behind from the beginning to the end. So for this 1 hour, I'm going to run through topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3, and I expect you to ask questions, So I hope that is good by you. That's okay by you. Michael Moloku, welcome. Victoria Chaka, welcome. Professor Abel Tayo, welcome. And Ogochukwu, you're welcome too. So because we have a lot to do within the 1 hour, we will not wait for our colleagues up to 10 minutes after 1. Rather, we will just swing into the lecture properly. So permit me to take you to my share screen. Am I permitted?
Please go ahead, sir.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, feel free. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Yeah. All due protocols duly observed. We go straight to the intended outcome. But of course, before that, let's know what the title of the topic is. The title of the topic is research methods in criminology. That's the title of the topic 1, the very first topic 1. So the intended learning outcome for this topic include that at the end, you should be able to explain what research is all about, explain what methodology is all about, identify the characteristics of research, and mention types of research, and then identify what research process is all about. So we go straight to the introduction. Now, research is a compound word made up of 2 prefix and a suffix. Re, like we all know, means doing again, doing it again, repeating. So it means that search, is to look for. So you are looking for what has been looked for. That is exactly what research means. Looking for what has been looked for. In other words, it means that there is nothing new under the sun, and there is no title you would take or topic you would take that you can say that you are the first person to have researched on it. No, it's simply that maybe within your own context or jurisdiction, such topic may not have been researched on, but that is not to say that it has never been researched on. There is nothing new. We are only doing research in order to validate researches earlier done or to invalidate them procedurally or methodologically. Okay, so that is research for you. There is no research that is perfect, and there is no research that is the best, and there is no research so far that research obeys the universally known procedures, follows the process of research. That research would have filled a particular gap. In fact, the centrality of criminological research is gap filling. If your research in the past or in the present did not fill any gap, means that research is not even research. It is armchair research. So by way of a definition, research means searching for what has been sought for before and building a block on the one built before by others. So definitely what you are doing, during my own time when I was doing my PhD, I was exposed to what we call literature review for a time period of 2 years. I did literature review just to do what? To get the gap in the area of my topic, to get what had been missing, a missing link in that area, you know. And then when I saw it, I clamped down on it, on that gap, that missing link. And I said, this missing link, I will look for it. And then when I find it, that means this problem has been resolved in that area. So that is what the mindset of a researcher should be. So what the ideal thing to do is that when you come with your topic, you don't even come with a topic, you just show interest that you want to do research, and then your supervisor should tell you, go and read up literature in that area of research. So what you should do as a researcher, first of all, is to comprehend which area of life, which area of social situation do I want to delve into and look into as a researcher. Once you establish that, then you go read up past researches in form of literature, and then find out weaknesses of researches done in the area and their strength. Then you cash in on the weaknesses on those weaknesses. You get the most prominent one that you know that your funding, your finances can carry you into engaging it in research. Then you take up that, and that will form the basic or the backbone of your research topic. And that you will make what we call problematization of the issue. When you problematize the issue, it is when you dash it, you dash that problem. It depends what it is dependent on. Okay, for instance, insecurity. If you say national cohesion, I mean, what do I put it? Nigerian police force and the national and the insecurity in Nigeria. Nigerian police force and insecurity in Nigeria. Now, what we are talking about is insecurity in Nigeria, but there is something that it is hinging on, that it is dependent on. That is Nigerian police force as a law enforcement agency. Law enforcement agency, if they are good, the insecurity will come down. If they are bad, insecurity will go up. Is that not so? It is so. So in that way, you have problematized insecurity, and you have brought in two variables. The first variable is the law enforcement agency, the police, and then the second variable is the real problem, which is the consequential variable called dependent variable. Okay, so that dependent variable now be the one that is dependent on the independent one. Okay, so that is that a topic is formed. When the topic is formed, the next thing to ask is which method is the best method that I should adopt in carrying out this research, because there are very many methods, you know, that makes up methodology, and there are very many ways of killing a rat or catching a rat. So methodology comes in. Methodology involves methods in research endeavor. Then you have several methods, for instance, descriptive method, survey method, exploratory method, partial experimental method, research approaches, research sampling methods, and analytical method, and data gathering methods, and all of that. So now we go into the characteristics of research. We have objectivism, we have time-bound, we have application, we have procedural, we have empiricism. Now, objectivism, you know what it means. That when you are objective, that means you are not sentimental, you are not emotional, and all of that. You are taking things from the face value without any bias or any prejudice or any form of discrimination. You take things on the basis of their merit. You approach things from the point of its merit. That is objectivism. Time-bound. All research have time specific for its beginning and its end. All researchers should be able, having obeyed the law of procedure that is involved in research, it should be replicable. What Dr. Igwe Dickson has, the method or procedure that Dr. Igwe Dickson took to conclude his PhD research, if another person takes the same method, will he get the same thing? It should be yes. Okay, it should be yes. If it is no, then there's a problem somewhere along the line. you have to, it's possible, it's either you cash in on that problem and want to remedy it, or you overlook it. That is research for you, and that is replication for you. Procedural. Procedure for all these theories and all these methods we are talking about. The process, the rigorous process of research is hinged on procedure. It's hinged on what we call procedure. So research is procedure by nature. Empiricism. Empiricism is the point where you test the validity of a finding or the reliability of a finding. When your tests and retests provide the same result, that means that research is empirical. So, and remember, empiricism is what you talk about when you say 1 + 1 is 2, not 1 + 1 is 3. You know, they say, why scientists say 1 + 1 is 2? The theologians say 1 + 1 is 1. That God said that the man and the woman will be one. Huh? I know, God, is that true? Are you part of those who said like
come
that?
Again, please.
Where is your ear? Did
Now,
you sell your
1 +
ear?
1 is 1.
1 + 1 is it 1 or 2?
It's
1
2,
+ 1.
It's 2, sir.
It's 2. But your
yes, sir.
I mean your what is it called? Your sheikh in the mosque, or your priest. Your priest will tell you that you and your husband, you are one. Are you one?
So that's going by religious doctrine. No, sir, it's when you want to go by religious doctrine.
So what I'm trying to imply here is not to know whether you are married or you are not married. What I'm trying to imply here is that empiricism does not respect that kind of emotion or religion or faith or sect or whatever. It says 1 + 1 is 2. So empirically speaking, it is 1 + 1 equal to 2. But if you want to talk about 1 + 1 equal to 1, you are talking about subjectivism, which is not a characteristic of research. So thank you. So now, types of research. Survey research, experimental research, ethnographic or exploratory research, quasi-research, quasi-experimental research. You know, so this we have dealt a big blow with in the other topic. Remember this topic 1, we are doing a rundown of all the rudiments of research. After this topic 1, from topic 2, we'll be taking specific, you understand, to treat into until we get into topic 8. You know, so the next one is for us to talk about class activity. We have question here. What do you understand by research? So let us not waste time on answering that question. We leave it for discussion time. So the next one is steps in research process. This is the step that typically demonstrates how procedural, how the processes, how research involves processes. Peak formulation. I've told you what topics formulation means and how to go about it, how the variables are placed, and how they obey the law of causality of push me, I fall, or I push you, you fall, you know, which is cause and effect. Is that also? So if you establish that in the topic creation and topic is created, the next one is to start chapter 1. That chapter 1 start with introduction. Introduction answers am I researching on this? How am I researching it? When am I researching it? Where am I researching it? And so on and so forth. So your introduction, if it doesn't answer these questions, salient questions, it is not introduction. These questions answered will lead us into statement of the problem of the research. Statement of problem. The statement of problem, simply put, is the difference between the ideal situation of that your topic and the reality on ground. Okay, so the variation between the ideal situation and the situation at hand is what we call research gap or research problem. For instance, the ideal thing is that Nigerians should sleep in their houses with their 2 eyes closed. Today, I know about you. Who do your house with your 2 eyes closed? Will you not be thinking about whether the bombs are going into the air or whether they are coming to arrest you? What do you think? I know about you.
Panic has been the order of the day in our country because of the happening. So I'll be thinking of what will happen
that
next.
Is the reality. So that is the reality on ground against the what other countries are enjoying, which is safety. Okay, so that becomes a problem. The problem is, how do you stop insecurity? So that's safe is demonstrating what I mean by statement of problem. So the next one is research question. Once you get this variation, the difference between ideal and the ideal situation and the reality, then naturally research questions start emerging. This question will be born out of when it is answered. Will it fill this gap? If it will not fill the gap, that question it will not stand. And when you raise such questions like 1, 2, 3, 4, you do what? You transpose those questions as to be your objective. For instance, what are the historical social processes that sustain insecurity in Nigeria? That is the research question. For instance, if you are working on insecurity in Nigeria. Now, if that is to be transposed into research objective, it means how to put it, to state it is now to examine. This research is aimed at examining the historical social process that sustain insecurity in Nigeria. That's the transposition of research into research objectives. And if you are doing qualitative research, it ends there. But if you are doing quantitative research, it goes further to be transposed into what? Hypothesis. And within the hypothesis angle, you have the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. What do I mean? Null hypothesis is that, like for that research question I raised, what is the historical processes that sustain insecurity in Nigeria? To raise a hypothesis in that favor, you say there aren't historical social processes that sustain insecurity in Nigeria. That is alternate hypothesis. Then null hypothesis will become there is historical social processes that sustain insecurity in Nigeria. So you have two of them. That is one negative, one positive. So if you are when you are testing your hypothesis, if it is negative, that if the one that is negative is the one that is correct, that the test result favor, it becomes that one. If it is the one that is positive that the test result favor, it becomes that one. Whichever it is, you as a researcher has no right to take position or to force the hands of the clock. If your tests sound A, and you say because it doesn't favor you as a security officer, therefore let me make it to sound B. That is, you are doing academic fraud. You become a thief. Do we have anything like thieving researcher? You know. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is what you have to know about chapter 1. So another thing about chapter 1 is significance of the study. Significance of the study is actually dealing with the value generation and value utilization. The research after it, you have result, and that result becomes the value that you have generated. Then the next thing is who utilizes it. You need to itemize and discuss in paragraphs those spheres that this value will be utilized. For instance, the policymakers, for instance, the markets, for instance, the society, for instance, the academia, for instance, the heuristic researchers, that is those freelance researchers. Okay, so these are people that will use the value of your research. That is, if they test it, if they replicate it, if it is replicable. Because you, as a researcher, you don't just take any result. to be a proper, the right result, a research result. You have to test it, place it into test to be sure that the researcher had gone through the right procedure, the right process to arrive at that result. So the next one is conceptual clarification. Within any research you are doing, you are doing research within a context of a discipline. All disciplines have their own context and their own concepts. So any researcher who does not have to situate his research content within a specific context and concept, that person is not a good researcher. So all the terms that you are using in your research must be the terms that is peculiar to criminology as a criminological researcher. So you must not leave using image, recidivism, criminality, criminogenics, and all of that, and you are going to use profitability, you are going to use psychological jargons and all of that. You don't need to do that. So then the next one is scope or limits and limitation. Scope in research is because of paucity of funds, because of time, because of space and everything. You need to delineate your research in such a manner that it covers a manageable sample, a manageable coverage. That is why we even delve into sampling. Sampling helps us to delineate the extent of coverage of our research. It is the best that you cover the whole world. It is also the best that you cover the whole Africa. It is also the best that you cover the whole Nigeria. Also the best that you cover the whole of your state. But how possible is that financially? How possible is that materially and every other thing? So it is practically impossible until you do what? Delineation of your scope. That is that. Then limitation are those challenges that you face after what? After while you are going to the field to gather your data and all of that. So you must be able to identify those challenges and then record them after you have finished your research. Then now, the very last slide before the conclusion is dealing with chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. Chapter 2 here is talking about literature review, theoretical framework. Literature review, to our understanding, is that we must review the past work done, the past work that are relevant done in that our area of research. And you don't just review, you review critically. The mindset is, what have these researchers done well and what have they not done well? So you cash in on those things that have done well and what they have not done well, and then you critique it, with some empirical evidences, from other aligning or supporting, researchers' view. So theoretical framework is to frame your variable. The modeling of your variable is very vital in research because your variable determines the type of theory you're using to frame your research variables. So another thing, chapter 3, because of the intricacies and complexities of methodology, which I told you is a composition of all the methods deployed in carrying out a research project. That is what we call methodology. And so for chapter 3, the whole of chapter 3 is devoted to writing methodology. Methodology is something that you do with a sense of decorum. What do I mean by this? I mean you must demonstrate justification for your choice of methods to use or choice of method that you are using. So without it, if you just take any method and start using without justifying it, then that you have not obeyed the due process. That's that. And then chapter 4 is data presentation and interpretation. Here, some people make data presentation and interpretation and discussion of measure of finding. But some people has to be chapter 4. Some people make it separate. Some people do chapter 4 to be data presentation, and then interpretation to be chapter 5, and then discussion of measure finding to be chapter 6, and all of that and all of that. So, and summary conclusion to be another chapter 7 or about. But however it is, research is research. Research in Nigeria is research in America. Research in America is research in Hong Kong, in anywhere. But it follows the same trajectory. The aim is to demonstrate empiricism, objectivism, and replication, basically. So that's that. Then data presentation, which you know we had discussed the previous lecture. Data interpretation, we discussed that. Data discussion of major findings, we discussed that. Summary, conclusion, and contribution to knowledge, we have done that. Bibliography, which otherwise called references, also done that. That is to tell you, I told you from the beginning that the topic one is just a rundown of the gamut of processes involved in research method. That afterwards we are going to begin to pick the topics, from topic 2 upwards to topic 8 will be series of specifics within this research, processes. Thank you so very much for the rapid attention. I draw the curtain on topic 1 with this conclusion. Research is search for a missing link, objectively, procedurally, replicatively, and empirically targeted on solving social problems in the society. Thank you so very much. So while you give me another time, we still have 30 minutes to go to pick on the PowerPoint of topic 2, and then we rush through that one, and then see whether we can rush through topic 3 too before we relapse into question and discussion hour. Am I permitted to do that?
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I withdraw my PowerPoint for topic 1. So I go to topic 2. Yeah, topic 2. Yeah. Somebody whose background is noisy should please mute that noise, please. Please, could that be able to mute yourself if your background is noisy, so that yeah, good. So permission to go to share my topic 2 PowerPoint. Thank you. So yeah, here we go. We do not need my melodious music, but rather to let you know that we are in topic 2, whose title is selection of research topic. What a wonderful one. Selection of research topic. We are going specific. So now we go through the expectations. The expectations here is that you must know the importance of research topic. You must know the types of research topic. You must know how to select research topic, and you must know the criteria for selecting research topics. So another one is importance of a research topic. Research topic determines innovation. All the innovations going on in the world wouldn't have been possible without a proper research topics. Searching regular topics make search boring. You cannot continue to say the same thing you have said over and over again. If husband and wife are calling themselves sweet darling every day, darling, man, one day you get bored, If you play the same game you have always played with your wife or husband or whatever, friend or whatever, all the same thing all the time, you get bored. There is need to put fancy, to put what I call, some uniqueness, some newness into life, so that it will be interesting. So what I mean here, the importance of research topic is that your topic should be one that respect novelty, that should be from a virgin land, from the topical issues, from the burning issues. For instance, today, banditry, kidnapping, and all other things, are currently the issue of discussion, Hello, I'm in a class, please. Hello, I'm in a class, please. So What stops us from doing research in the last SARS protest? Doing research on COVID-19, it's a topical current issue. It's still commanding a burning, still on the a burning issue globally, you know. So another thing is topics determine methods to use. Topic determines creativity. Topics determine duration, time, and other analysis. By this time, other analysis, I mean, what kind of research are you doing? So types of research topics. Monovariate topics deals with one variable. Bivariate topic deals with two variables, usually the independent and dependent variables. Multivariate topics deals with more than two variables. The excess of independent and dependent variables are called either extraneous variables or intervening variables. So another one is selecting a research topic. What are the considerations that you must make before selecting or settling for a research topic? One is interest. Interest is very important. I don't need to explain it because I had explained it earlier before for you. Another one is cost. Cost is very important. Novelty. Novelty has to be virgin land, you know, of knowledge, of issue. Another one is time. Time is very key. It is timeless without time. If you do select topics without putting into consideration time. Another one is access. Access to human resources, access to material resources. Without a librarian, can you access a library? It's not possible. Without a facility of a library, you know, can you access material resources in the library? It's not possible. So from here, we relapse to mention the 5 considerations that inform the selection of research topic. Let's leave that to when we will be discussing it in the discussion room. Then another one is criteria for selecting a research topic. There are burning issue. It must be burning issue. Select from it. Like for instance, now COVID-19 is the real burning issue now. Although it is subsided, but it's still the real burning issue. You can as well tap into the vaccine circulation distribution. Okay, is it a classical one like the condom time when we have even there was a time condom was one, but now condom has various class, high class, low, middle class, low class, and small class, and all of that has a vaccine. COVID-19 vaccine, has it gone classical? Has it gone the highest one? Because as I understand, we have the one from Oxford, we have the one from China, we have the one from India, we have the one from Russia, we have the one from America, and all sorts. Can we also have the one from Nigeria? So that is the point. You catch into such burning current discussion and formulate your topic. It makes your research so superlative and so wonderful and interesting. So another thing is market. Do you have ready market that will buy and key into your research finding when it comes on board? Another one is skill. Do you have the requisite skill to carry out an empirical and objective research? Empirical skill is very fundamental here. If you don't know how to do longitudinal research, do you need to go and choose a topic that tilts towards longitudinal research? Or if you do not know how to do cross-sectional research, you need to go and choose topics that deals with cross-sectional research. It's not possible. It will not be good because you will flop on the way. Another one is resources. How much resource do you think that will go in for the topic you are choosing or you want to choose? Have you considered your pocket? Have you considered your capabilities and capacity in selecting your topic, you know, in terms of cost? Another one is culture. Are you trying to salvage your family? Are you trying to salvage your religion? Are you trying to salvage your profession by researching in depth? It is absolutely difficult for you to research in yourself, It is not possible. So it is important that in doing research, you must separate yourself from the real process and procedures of research. The rigor of research abhors any form of selfishness, any form of sentiment, any form of subjectivism. So at that point, we draw the curtain on Topic 2, we are going into the conclusion. We conclude topic 2 this way. Research topic selection is critical to doing successful, innovative, and creative search for a missing link. Interest consideration in selecting research topic. Sustain research when the going becomes tough. The doing of the research becomes more interesting. I want to salute you for the attention wrapped indeed that you gave to me to take you through the rundown of topic 1, topic 2. Let's do it again and take up topic 3 so that we would have done justice to our expectation projection. So permit me to pull down this topic 2 slides and then go in, put on the topic 3 slides. Am I permitted? I permitted?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, so topic 3, where is topic 3? Topic 3, okay. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, gentlemen and ladies, permit me also to launch into sharing my screen for topic 3. Topic 3, yeah. Am I permitted?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
here
sir.
we go. Here we go. So I don't need to bother you with my reading, but I will bring, of course, the learning outcome, intended learning outcome. That is the expectation. So you must be sure that we are guided by these expectations. At the end of this lecture, topic 3, we should be able to appreciate the importance of statement of research problem. We should be able to state the problem. By the way, what is the title of topic 3? The title of topic 3 is statement of research problem. I don't know written here, but that is actually the title. Statement of research problem. The third expectation is analysis of a problem, a research problem. Fourth is creating the research gap. 5 is points to be included in the problem statement. Yeah, so here we go. Importance of statement of research problem, RP. Research problem well stated gives direction to the study. Research problem provides justification for the study. It justifies the research questions. It justifies the research objectives. It determines the choice of research methods to be used. Is justification for the finding. Yeah, that is that. And the next slide, what is a research problem? Research problem is not the consequence of a problem, but the suspected source, the embedded source of the problem, the embedded trigger of the problem, the embedded risk factor that leads to that problem. That is the research problem. Not the size of the impact of the problem, but its underpinning. It's not the nature of the problem, but the gap between the ideals and the reality of an event or issue. It is the missing explanation to a social issues despite research findings on it. Yes. Yeah. So that is it. Analysis of research problem. Research problem creates study focus, creates study objectives, creates method options, validates the reliability of research findings, exposes the gap in knowledge and contribution to knowledge, suggests theory to be used, image critical review of literature. It emerges through from critical review of literature. That's the research program. So the class activity, I excuse you from that, leaving it for the time of discussion. So the next here is use of research problem. Research problem explains the research question, explains the research data gathering instrument in use, explains the research value production, utility, and significance, explains the research theory, contribution to knowledge of any research depend on the research problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you here to ponder on this conclusion. Research problem emerges when critical literature review compare the researcher to transit from ideal situation to reality of any issue under consideration. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, I say thank you for the rapt attention while the run over lasted. So let me give you a soothing tune, that will give you a kind of render to the discussion that will follow. Yes, so permit me to draw down my PowerPoints for us to start the discussion. Engagement of thoughts, brainstorming. Please, let's make it fun. Let's make it exciting. Talk to me. For if you don't, I will talk to you. Let us discuss. Let us engage our thoughts. Thank you so very much. I'm done with topic 1, 2, 3. The rundown. The floor is open for you to fire on your questions, your observations, your contribution, and even a lecture if you can, So the detailed blazer here is Professor Abel Tayo. Prof, you are welcome. Your hands up. Talk to us, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There's no saying that you have laid a solid foundation for us against next semester when we are going to start carrying out our project work.
Thank you.
My observation. It is going to be, it's not going to be a task. I want you to create a link between you and us, the students, subsequently, so that it's not going to be at a time when we need, when we have we are going to be having an interactive forum with you. Let there be a link and a bond between we, the students, and you, being our HOD. I must say that, sir, in the course of the lecture, you made mention of what we call the laws of conservative. Sir, I need more insight on the law of conservative towards topic formulation. Please, I just need more clarification. Please.
The law of what? Causality. Yes, it's not conservatism, it's causality. CAUSATION. CAUSATION. What? Wait. Old age is setting in, man. Let me write it before. Causality. So CAUSALITY. Causality.
Okay. All right, sir.
Is that taken? That is taken. Yes, so Professor Ebert, before I delve into that question you have raised, let me first of all say, for cutting the blaze in this discussion this afternoon, and then making a very valid opening statement about how your your penchant for such a lecture like this. I want to say that I'm rather humbled by that appreciation. It's a compliment anyway. So, and I say that since you mentioned a very important point that we must note, sustaining the bond of relationship, bond of interaction between the teacher and the students, is very, very key. And I want to tell you that even in my own closest, those who fell under my supervision in the project stuff, I had created a WhatsApp link with them, and we not only discuss physically, we discuss on platforms, and it's been fun greatly. So we decide to meet when it becomes necessary. We decide to discuss, or on a platform. So if this is also what you are talking about, then you can let me give you my email. My phone number. Take down my phone number and then try to link up all of you that we have been interacting with on this course, so that I'll give you the assignments, because you raise this as an important issue. I give you the assignment to create a WhatsApp group for us, and then let's keep the flag, the light burning on research method across board. Don't discriminate whether you are my supervisor, you are my supervisee or not. It doesn't matter. You are my student and you are my children. All of you are my children. No matter how young I am and how old you are, for being your head of department, you all become my children. So my greatest desire is that it be well with all of you. And all of you will come out in flying colors. So if I know what else I can do to make it easier and better for you, I have no objection. I have no reason not to do that. So since you have mentioned it, that you need that link, that one, it's okay by me. It's good if that will bring a good, formidable research skill into you. I have no choice, because my heart used to bleed each time my new students come up with the proposals and come up with research capability. It used to be something not too appealing to me, because it shows and usually demonstrates to me that nobody had ever taught them research face to face. So, and it becomes, you'll be surprised the way I take them like kindergarten, in the research kindergarten. The same way I'm doing it here, that's the same way I do it with those my supervisees. So, and I don't create that master-servant relation. I don't do that, because I believe I can learn from you, you can learn from me. We are all in the business of learning. And if you don't criticize me, I will not know when I'm going wrong. In fact, I don't even know anything if I'm not placed under criticism. I prefer criticism. It is because of criticism that university education is even established. So without criticism, without argument, without argument and then rejection, there will be no university. Okay, so thank you so very much, Tayo, Eber. I look forward to having the platform. So can you take my phone number? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 080.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, 080.
Yes, sir.
58.
Yes, sir.
98.
Yes, sir.
95.
Yes, sir.
945.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Dr. Dickson Igwe.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, just put there. But anybody you are enlisting, I need the either the matric number of that person or the name of that person, preferably matric number.
All right, sir.
Or the name as to be shown. You understand? Thank you so very much. So that from there we'll be able to track the moderation, and then to track whatever is the issue. I would not need to ask what is your matric number or what is you understand. I will go straight to track that issue and then get to the root of it and make sure that we are all on the same plane and we are all happily united in the family. Thank you so very much, Tayo, for that great and brilliant initiative. So back to the class of discussion. So who has something else to tell us?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, that is Moloku Michael. Michael, welcome to the discussion.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good afternoon. I want to just make a finding. I was looking at the material that we have here in Lagos, and I saw that what you were saying quite differs from what is in the material. And I discovered that I now looked for that, and I saw that the lecturer who wrote the material that we're making use of is not even you, so a different lecturer entirely.
Yes, yes. I know.
I noticed that. So okay.
I'm aware of that.
And from what the way you're explaining to us, your explanation is way simpler than even what the person even stated in the material.
Okay. But I have also told you in the course of the lecture that you cannot make my A just writing what is in the course content. Okay. Research is a universal language. If they tell you that identify the 5 processes of research or 5 stages of research, and you go further, or if they say if they give you 5 stages, if they say write the 5 stages of research process, and you just identify those 5 stages for me, I will give you the mark for identifying it. But if you identify those 5 stages and explain them to me, I will also give you marks for identifying it and explaining it. And so it will increase your chances of making an A. So you will agree with me that the student who identified only and that student who identified and explained, they are not on the same layer. One is at one layer, the other one is at another layer. If you are a teacher, I know you will do the same thing that I will do. So that's why I keep telling you that you don't get my A on a platter of gold. You must work extra hard. And that is why I'm taking you through these drills so that anyhow the question is twisted, you will know how to catch it and handle it. Do you understand me? And you don't necessarily need to vomit what is in your course content. Write as a skilled researcher. You are expected to read research books and other text on research in addition to your course content. I am not by this telling you that don't read your course content, but I'm telling you that to make an A grade, an A student, you don't need to depend only on that your course content. After all, they are all obsolete and we want to review them. In fact, the review is in process now. Do you understand? So we are doing our best to make sure that we give you the best that research can provide. Thank you so very much. So Anogochukwu, your hand is up.
Okay. All right, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for your help so far. Really, if all lecturers taking us on this program to be like you, sir, this thing would have been a walkover for us.
Thank you so much.
Sir, my question is on what one of my colleagues just asked now, that you should throw light, because I've noticed over time that you've always laid emphasis on the law of cause and effect in research. Now, sir, I don't really get what it's all about. So please, sir, can you help us throw light on it?
Okay, cause and effect. In science, it used to be force and what is it? What do I call it? Power.
Force of gravity.
No, force and this thing. What is it called? The Newton laws of
reaction.
action and reaction.
Reaction,
Okay,
yes.
action and reaction in physical sciences, but in social sciences and particularly in criminology, it is cause and what? Effect. Okay, so it is expected that any research you are doing should have a demo. The topic should demonstrate this causality. It should demonstrate cause and effect, and this cause and effect is contained or represented by the variable placement. I used insecurity and law enforcement to demonstrate it. I said insecurity, for instance, is your problem, is the problem you think or the issue that interests you to work on. So now insecurity cannot stand on its own. You have to blend it with what? With a causal variable. Causal variable now become law enforcement. Is it not law enforcement? Is insecurity not close to law enforcement? When you talk about insecurity, the law enforcement are there to ensure security of lives and property. Is that also law and order? Is that also? So if your interest or your issue of research is insecurity, then you are pairing insecurity with law enforcement or any other thing that have control over insecurity. You understand? Or that can impact insecurity. So now, if you pair insecurity with law enforcement, the implication therefore becomes that you have established causality. Causality in the sense that law enforcement is effective, insecurity will decline. Law enforcement is ineffective, insecurity will increase. Is that not so? You have established causality. And that title will stand firm and will be a good title or topic. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Great. Thank you so very much. So, who else has something to say? I've gone out of the time, my people. I have another class for 2 to 3.
Okay, so I have other questions though.
What is it? So keep that your question. And for another class of 3 to 4. Or
Okay,
better still, I have another class with you guys 3 to 4 and then 9 to 10 p.m.
To 10. Okay, sir.
So now I have a class for your undergraduate younger brothers and sisters. So thank you so very much for the rapt attention. I'm very glad having you, particularly Professor Abel Tayo, who brought a brilliant initiative of bonding. Bonding is very key as far as criminologists are concerned, because if we put our head together to fight crime, then who is a criminal? To resist us, they cannot. They would rather bow. So have a fun-filled moment till we meet again. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye, sir.
All right. Thank you.